Hello and welcome to PM Studios C# programming tutorials number 1. Today we're going to be going over just the very basics. We're going to be going over a Hello World program, as well as I'm going to be briefly showing you how to install Visual Studio 2010. It will not be the professional version, it will be the Express version. If you have the professional version, you're welcome to use it. It will serve you just as well as the Express version in this programming tutorial for the very basics that we're going over. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our internet browser and go to Google. We do need to pull up the C# or C# Express. So the first thing we're going to do, once we're in Google, we're going to type in Visual Studio 2010 Express. Obviously I have it on my top. And then we're going to go here to the first link. You can either click here or we can go down here and try to find it. It doesn't look like it's there. So go ahead and click on that first link. It's going to send you straight to the Express web page. It's going to have all of the different Visual Studio Express versions that you can get. So it's things like for Windows phones, you can program for the Windows phone in the Express version. Develop websites in Visual Studio Express. This includes incorporates like database programming and HTML and such. You have Visual Basics 2010, which is the next step up from Small Basic, for those of you who have been following that series. And then we have Visual C#, which is the one that we want, so you're going to go ahead and click on that, and click on Install Now. It'll download that. Go ahead and let it install everything that it needs to install, mainly including .NET Frameworks 4, and all succeeding versions that it feels it needs to install before that, because they are successive. So once you have that downloaded and ready to go, then we're going to go ahead and get started on Visual Studio. So once you have that opened up and ready to go, you'll notice that over here we have New Project and Open Project. I don't believe Team Foundation Server is going to be there for the Express users, and you won't have anything here if you just freshly installed it. So just open New Project. Alternatively, if you don't have New Project right there, for whatever reason it may be, you can go to it through several different ways. You can click on New Project here, you can go to File, then New, and New Project, or you can push Control-Shift-N and it'll create a new project. So there's 4 different ways you can open up a new project. Once you're in here, if you're using Express, the only option you'll have is Visual C#, so you won't even have to worry about any of this extra stuff. But if you're using anything other than Express, say Professional, Ultimate, or whatever the other one is, I don't really remember right now, Supreme or something like that. So if you're using any of the pay-to-use versions, then you're going to have all these different menus. Obviously you're going to go to C#, then Windows. We're going to be working primarily with Windows forms. So, and then we're going to open up a console application. The first 10 or so episodes of this tutorial series are all going to be on console applications. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a name for your projects. So I'm going to call mine Hello World 2, since as you can see here I've already done Hello World, and it wouldn't be very constructive if I just opened up the finished project for you guys. I like to show you. So Hello World 2, obviously you can see the solution name is going to be exactly the same as the starting name, and actually we can alleviate that issue just by making it all one word. You can make it 2 words, but if you do 1 word, it's easier for the program to compile it. So let's just go ahead and do 1 word, Hello World, and then push OK. Oops, it already exists. Okay, so I guess I am doing Hello World 2. Push OK. It's going to compile everything, and it's going to give you a fresh, clean slate. As you can see, it's already given you a namespace titled Hello World. The namespace is where the solution is going to be stored. Then you've got the class and the main method, just like you would in Java programming, so that's all the same. But there are a couple differences I do want to note. Aside from the namespace, instead of import, instead of import, C# uses using for importing libraries into the program. And classes, there can be multiple classes inside. Actually, I take that back. There cannot be multiple classes inside a file, but the class is still named the same as the class file right here. So class program, it's the program class, program.cs, and then we've got static void main string args. Now some of you are thinking that's probably different, because it is. That's what we normally type in for Java, but the IDE for Visual Studio automatically assumes that the main method has to be public, so there is no need to type it in. The one thing I do want to denote before we get started is that C# is a higher level programming language, and when I say higher level, I mean it is the lowest level possible in programming languages is binary, where you have to type everything out by hand and the computer does no conversion for you whatsoever. And then the higher you get, the less you have to do and the more the compiler does for you. So C# is, say, one step higher than Java, where you have to do a little bit less than you did inside Java. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type console. And as you can tell, as I'm typing things in, it automatically gives me some options about what I might want. So if you wanted to and you weren't quite sure what you wanted to do, you could always just use your arrow keys to select what you wanted and hit enter, and then just fill in the rest of the syntax yourself. So we're just going to type in hello world, and I'm going to go ahead and run this real fast because that's essentially the hello world program. But as you noticed, it flashed out for a second and then it came back. That's because inside C#, the program runs exactly the way it's structured. So if you don't put any pauses in it, it'll just keep going, or it'll run through it and close out immediately. So that isn't very constructive for us. We're going to do console.read and then put in our parentheses, and as you can see, it automatically corrects my terrible syntax for me. I probably shouldn't rely on that, but it does. So if you do make mistakes, like capitalization of methods and such, it will fix that for you to an extent. So, and then once we do that, I can go ahead and push F5, and as you can see, it runs hello world, and then as soon as I push any button, well, enter or space, I believe it is. If I push enter or space, then it'll go ahead and close out the program. Now, the one thing I do want to note as well, this adds to the higher level programming where you don't have to do as much. The actual compilation of this entire write line sequence would be system.console.writeLine. However, we have system imported here, so the program automatically assumes that console comes from the system package, and therefore we don't need to write system, just like we don't need to write public on the static main void. So that's one of the advantages of using C#, and that's about it for now. In the next episode, we will go over value types, just like we always do. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. As for now, I will see you next tutorial.